welcome back to this little drop-in, drop-out local multiplayer co-op series. In part 3, we added the ability for players to drop in. So here I am on a keyboard and a controller, controlling the little pills, capsules independently. And I can press back on the controller, the player leaves, I can press start, rejoin again. So the next logical kind of step would be to add a HUD or heads-up display. But for a HUD to be relevant, we need something to keep track of. We need some sort of gameplay, because at the minute it's just two tic-tacs walking around. There's no point adding a HUD because there's nothing to keep track of. So we're going to add a little game mechanic to the game. We're going to do that by having coins. We're going to do that by having collectible coins that spin and they spawn in randomly and then disappear after a certain amount of time. And the kind of goal for this little game would be for the players to compete and get as many coins as possible. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first off, in my scripts folder, which I have not made, I'm going to go to scripts. In that folder, I'm going to create a C# script, and I'm going to call this coin. Let's just load that up in Visual Studio. For now, I'm just going to get rid of all of this. So start fresh. So the first thing we want to do is we want to do require component type of sphere collider. We're going to want some floats. So public float, pickup radius. We'll set this to 1.5. And then in the void awake method, we're going to get a reference to our collider, which we need to keep a reference to. So public sphere collider. Can probably be private sphere collider actually for now, called my collider. So my collider equals get component sphere collider, and we could do my my collider dot is trigger equals true because we want it to be a trigger collider, not actually bump into it. And then my collider dot radius equals the pickup radius. To make it look kind of more appealing, we're going to get it to rotate. So we can do private void update, and then we can do transform dot rotate. We want it to rotate around its up axis, which is the y-axis. And we want it to do it to the tune of the rotation speed times time dot delta time. And we just want to make another public float called rotation speed. Or rate northern then. And rotation speed equals 10. Now, and then to be able to see the collider, just for a bit of visual feedback, we can do a on draw gizmos, and we do gizmos dot color equals color dot yellow. Why not? And then gizmos dot draw wire sphere. We want it to draw it from the transform position where we are, and we want it to be as big as our pickup radius. Okay, so let's just set that up, shall we? So we're going to add a empty to the world and call this coin. I'll pop it in the middle. I'm going to get game object, 3D object, and then we'll do cylinder. I want it to be a parent of the coin. 0, 0, 0. Just gonna press F on the keyboard to just zoom in. And then I'm going to shrink it down to 0.1. 0.1, 0.01, 0.1. It's a bit too small, isn't it? 0.3, 0.3. I'm going to move it up. Oh, no. Move it up 0.5 on the y-axis. Then we'll rotate it 90 degrees on the z-axis. So there's a coin. It's very small, I've just realized. Yeah, let's just make that bigger. There we go. That's kind of coin shaped. There we go. We can tweak it. Spending a bit too much time on that. So let's make a new material folder, and inside the folder we can make a new material. Just call this coin. I'm gonna make it a nice golden yellow. We'll make it metallic. Drop the coin. No, that's the coin script. Coin material on the coin, and then so on this coin empty, let's just coin mesh, just so we're not getting confused. I don't want to be able to select that for now. So on the coin, I'm going to drag the coin script onto the coin object, and you can see that it's added our collider sphere. Now we can see our sphere collider down here, which is this. We can offset the center if we want it to be kind of up. It doesn't really matter because it's going to cover a wide area anyway. So it's just for simplicity, leave that 0. When we hit play, where have I gone? When we hit play, the coin is just going to spin kind of on its axis. Get a bit crazy. Let's have a look. Probably a bit too much. 150. Yeah, let's do 150. So 150. And now with this coin, we can drag this over to our prefabs folder. And from here, we could have multiple coins. We're going to have these spawn in randomly, so that's fine. But for now, see, there they are spinning around. If you wanted them to spawn at different rates, you could do that. Instead of having the rotation speed, you could have the rotation speed maybe like plus a random number. Yeah, let's do that. So plus random dot range of minus 25f and positive 25f. So now they should all spin kind of different speeds, just makes it a bit more visually interesting. That didn't work. We want flow random offset, and then we can do random offset equals and then we can in the awake and then the random offset. And the reason was that every tick it was choosing a different rotate speed, and I think that was confusing it. Is every update is adding. You know what? Rotation speed plus equals random range 25, 25, rotation speed. There we go. I'll pop that back up to 150. That's better. So they're all rotating at just slightly different speeds. Bit of a sidetrack. That wasn't in my little script, but you know, it looks good. So we'll carry on with it. Okay, so with the coin, what we want to do is on the void, we want to make a public void pickup coin with a collider called other. Void on trigger, enter, pickup coin, pass in our collider. Again, we could have everything we put in the pickup coin method could go in on trigger enter, but we just want to keep it sort of different. So the very last thing we want to do is destroy this dot object dot game object, and we only want to do that if the other dot game object dot compare tag, if the player is the one that's hit it, then destroy this game object. So let's just try that, shall we? Just want to make sure our things are tagged as player. Okay, let's try this. So move over, boop, pop, 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 get all the coins. Excellent. So now what we want to do is over on the player controller, let's just have a public int score, and we can make a public void increase score, take in an int which we'll call the value, and all we're going to do is score plus equals the value. So with our coin, we can have we can get rid of that now. Have an int called, public int or serialized field int called value. And we'll set this to a value of 5. So if the other dot game object dot compare tag equals player, then what we're going to do is we're going to go player controller player equals other dot game object dot get component player controller, and if the player is not equal to null, then we're going to go player dot increase score, passing in our value. And just so we can see it's working, we will debug.log the score. And we'll say player score is so we'll go to play, have our player score 5, 10, 15. Then with player 2 should have its own score, player score 5. And we can leave and we can come out of that. So okay, so for the game manager, we want to add a new component, add a new script, and we're going to call this the coin spawner. Let's add that. Let's open it up. And we're going to need a public game object coin. If we want different coins with different values, we could have a game object array of coins. We'll do that, shall we? And we're going to need some floats. So we want a x min, x max, and we want a z min, z min, z max. They're going to be so we can change the edge of the play space. So then we're going to, in void start, we're going to start a loopable coroutine called spawn coins. Which we'll do i.e. numerator spawn coins. And what we want to do is whilst true, so it's always going to loop, we can do yield return new wait for seconds, and we can say spawn interval which is going to be a float spawn interval equals, so we'll start off at 2, do 1 for now. So we're going to start the coin spawner. It's going to start a coroutine called spawn coins. And what this is going to do is while true, yield return new wait for seconds spawn interval. And then we are going to instantiate coins. We'll just do index 0 for now. What we're going to need is a vector 3 spawn position. And we can make a vector 3 new spawn position or random spawn position. And this is going to return a new vector 3 of float random x equals random dot range between our x min and our x max, and it's going to float random z equals random dot range zmin and zmax. And then it's going to return a new vector 3 of random x, 0 on the y for now. We might want them dropping down. Actually, I'll do 0.5 just so they're not going to get stuck in the floor. And random z. So we're going to instantiate the coins at the random spawn position, and we'll just do it as normal rotation of this. I could do it at the rotation, the transform.rotation of the game manager, which should just be normal. That should be fine. So with these being public, so we've got a game manager. We want to add the coin prefab to the coin list. I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the game manager empty that's in the world just to get the values here. So we know that the x minimum, say minus 12, 12, and then obviously z is about the same. For now, I'll do 10. So negative 10, positive 10, negative 10, positive 10. Get rid of the coins. Let's hope this works. Yep, so every second, coins spawning in, and the goal of the game is to get all of the coins before player 2 comes and steals all of the coins. So that's working perfectly. First time. It's always a time for something. Spawn interval. What we could do is, again, random.range every 1 second to every 4 seconds. Again, just to vary it up a little bit. Where are we? So pop. Pop. So that's spawning coins in fine. So we can see that our player score is 45. Player 2 can come along. Gets his own score. Player score 510. What we can do as well, is if we want to, we could just instantiate this. So if game manager dot instance dot player list dot count is greater than 1, then only then will we instantiate a coin. What this will do is it'll just add that level of protection. So oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. So we've got our player. No coins are spawning, and then as soon as player 2 pops along, they start spawning. We could do something like we could have a countdown timer. So once player 2 joins, that's when the countdown starts. So now it's just a race to see who can get all of the coins. We might actually want them spawning a bit quicker this time. You could go a bit crazier with it. So between 0.5 and 1.5. So it's a bit more fun to try and get the coins before someone else scoops them up. Okay, excellent. So that's it for part 4. So we've added some mechanics now. So in the next episode, we can actually keep track of the player score on a HUD. And it makes it a bit more interesting than just displaying something boring like the player name or something like that. Also sort out the spawn points so we're not both spawning at the same place. You'd want the players to maybe spawn in each corner, which we can do. So we can compare the player index to the index of our spawn point array and choose which spawn is relevant to them. and that is what we'll do in the next episode. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to know when the next part of the tutorial goes live. As always, the project files for this tutorial and all my other tutorials are over on Patreon, and this full series is out on Patreon right now, so you don't have to wait for the next episode if you don't want to. You can head over there. The link for that is in the description below. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, bye.